Happy Mother's Day. It's coming up tomorrow, and I want to reflect on the worst beating I ever got on Mother's Day. And the reason why I'm going to reflect is because it was also my mother's birthday this past Wednesday, I believe, and she would have been 62 years old if she were alive today. So I miss you, Mama. Always miss you, Rosalind. But the worst beating I ever got. And also I wanted to do this video because I got inspired. Oh, look, she kissed her brother. Very nice. By Brian. Subscribe to him. This dude is a bona fide just fool and has encouraged me. Some people encourage you to bring the fool out, and he's encouraged me to do that. So I'm bringing it out. But the worst beating I ever got in my life subsequently came the week before, 2 weeks before my mother passed away, actually. It was my first semester of college, and I was home from Christmas break, and y'all, I had done really poorly in college, so I ain't have no right to be talking about nothing anyway. But yeah, I got to shout at all my littlies. Yes, those are my babies. But at any rate, my mom said, you know, I was going out. And she said, Courtney, make sure you're home by, I think she said 12 o'clock. And I said, I might. And she was like, what? And I said, I might make sure I'm home by 12 o'clock. You know, if not, I'll be home when I'm be home. And she was like, Courtney, you going to make sure you get your ass in this house by, she had a happy voice. She said, Courtney, you going to make sure you get your ass in this house by 12 o'clock. And I said, you know, Mom, I am in college. I come home when I want to come home. I don't do curfews. You know, I don't do this. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm not good at math. So, you know, I can't describe y'all the distance. But with that length that I think Usain Bolt won, my mom had him beat. Because like, she made it from the kitchen to like the hallway, because the hallway led to my bedroom. She made it from the kitchen to the hallway in like 2 seconds flat. And she jumped on my back. And this was she was big, and I'm a small girl. I'm only 5 feet. My mom's like 5'7". She's not that tall. She was like 5'7", 5'6", 5'7". But she was like on my back, and she was a bigger woman. And I was like 18 years old, so it was just like crazy. And also I hadn't gotten a beating from my mom in probably like 2 years. So since I was like 16, I hadn't gotten a beating from her. So, you know, I thought we were kind of past that point. But she jumped on my back. And then she was on my front. Like, she was just all over me like a cat. Wow. All over me. All over my body. All over my body. And she was choking me. And I was like, you know, Mom, you know, stop. You know, what are you doing? Like, literally like you about to kill me. So she stopped, and, you know, I did go out. And I was back in by like, you know, I don't think I made it back in by 12. I remember saying that. I remember thinking I was going to be real badass. I sat out in the car because I went out with my friend Maurice. Hey, Maurice. I went out with my friend Maurice, and I sat in that car with him. We were back at the house by 12, but I made sure I sat in that car till like about 12:30. Then I went on inside because I didn't want to get, you know, another beat down in front of a friend, because that's the worst type of beat down. Friend and family member beat downs are the worst. But after my mom passed away, about 2 years later, what was funny is that my nephew, he was about 5 when my mom passed away. So about 2 years later, he's about 7. He was up visiting me at school, and I was talking to with a classmate of mine that went to the college with me. And, you know, she was like, oh, she said something about, you know, bad beatings or whatever. And I was like, you know, well, you know, I'm grown. She was saying her man wanted her to be back in by a certain time. And I was like, I'm grown, and, you know, ain't nobody going to be telling me when to come in and da-da-da-da. Well, my nephew was visiting me up at school. Like I said, he was 7 at the time. So he was visiting me up at college. And he was like, remember when Grandma told you you had to come home? And you was like, no, I'm not coming home by a certain time. And then when she jumped on you, and you was like, and I was like, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Jamal. I do remember that. Thank you. So, you know, he kind of shined on me in front of my friend. And it was just weird because he remembered that. I couldn't believe that he remembered it. But I was like, thanks. Thanks for the memories. Happy Mother's Day, y'all. Make some memories.